Good morning, Assalamu alaikum. Today we are going to talk about the rocks, the lesson of the rock cycle. Here, in this lesson, we will learn about the rock, what make up rocks, what are the processes that help in changing or forming rocks, what are the three main types of rocks, and what is the rock cycle. First of all, the rock is a naturally occurring solid mixture of one or more minerals. It can be made of one mineral or more than one mineral. Look at this rock. As you see, these small grains here or small fractions, these are the minerals. As what we said in the last lesson. In the last lesson, we knew what is a mineral, what are the five main conditions that should be found in something to be a mineral. Here, the rock should be naturally occurring like the mineral, solid also like the mineral, but it has to be made of one mineral or mixture of minerals that may also include organic material. So here the difference that it can include organic material, because over the years dead organisms or the remaining of the dead organisms can be buried with the minerals. So over the years they can form rocks. So the difference here that between a rock and a mineral, that the rock can be made of more than one mineral. It can include organic material. Sometimes some also minerals can be made from some non-mineral materials such as the glass. They can have non-mineral material, but this is not common. Rocks are always changing through the time. So, as you know, the earth in the past, from millions of years, is not the same as it is now. The years, for sure, not short periods of time, very, very long periods of times, like thousands or millions of years. These long periods of time can change the earth. How? By some very important natural processes. What are these natural processes that can destroy and change and rearrange and reform the rocks? What are these natural processes? Let's start here with weathering. Actually, here we are going to talk about five processes. First one is the weathering. The weathering is the process by which the rock is broken down by some very important factors. The breaking down of the rock can make small fragments of rocks. These small fragments of rocks are called sediments. Okay, what are the factors that help in breaking down the rocks? These factors are water, wind, ice, and the changes in the temperature. How? Water. Let's say that there is a mountain that is exposed to the very heavy rain most of the year. It rains over the mountain heavily. What will happen after years? What will happen? For sure, the shape of the mountain will be changed. Why? Because the drops of water that hits the mountain very, very strongly, can break from the rocks of the mountain and move from it some fragments. Year by year, these fragments will make a difference. Also, the wind. Let's say a mountain is exposed to very, very heavy wind facing the mountain. This wind or moving air can wither from the mountain. What does that mean? The wind can break down from the rocks of the mountain. Over the years also, that can make difference. Ice, how the ice can do it? Or let's say that this mountain is in in a is beside the polar areas, is beside Antarctica, let's say, or in Antarctica. That means above the mountain we can there can be some glaciers, big bulks of ice. Because of gravity, the glacier can fall down over the mountain. With the falling of the glacier can break down from the mountain rocks. This is because of the ice. Also because of the changes in the temperature. Changes in the temperature can cause freezing and melting of the water that can come in the cracks in the rocks. Freezing then melting of the water can cause the cracks to become bigger and bigger. This will help in breaking down the rocks. So here we talked about the four factors, the very main four factors that can help in weathering. Next to weathering is the erosion. Weathering, we said, it makes sediments, the small fragments. What will happen to these sediments? These sediments will be moved from a place to another. This process by which the sediments are moved from a place to another is called erosion. What help in erosion? Also water, wind, ice, and gravity. Very, very clear that the water or the wind can move with them the eroded, the weathered rocks from place to another. Also the ice can do that. The gravity can cause the sediments to fall down. That's it. Finally, the eroded sediments should be settled down in somewhere. This process is called deposition, the process in which the sediments come to settle down. Finally, the pressure. Pressure, then high temperature. The pressure can help to squeeze the rocks that are buried under many layers above them, can be squeezed by the weight of the rock or the layers of the sediments above them. So the rock that is on the surface of the ground doesn't have the same pressure as the rock that is very deep under the ground. Look at this picture here. I want something, I can't find it. Yes, here. For sure, down under these layers, the rocks down are having more pressure than the rocks above the ground. That will make difference for the rocks down. This is what we will see when we will study the metamorphic rocks. So here the pressure help in squeezing and shaping the rocks. Finally, the high temperature. High temperature with the pressure can shape and change the formation of some rocks. Also, high temperature can be high enough to can melt the rocks. Molten rocks under the ground are called magma. if the magma comes above the ground by eruption of volcano, the magma will be called lava. So study it like this. Magma is the molten rocks under the ground. Lava is the molten rocks above the ground that comes after volcano. So like this, we studied the 5 main processes that change and form the rocks. Okay, that's it. Tomorrow, inshallah, we will study the 3 main types of rocks that are igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, metamorphic rocks, then the rock cycle. Have a nice day. See you, inshallah, tomorrow.